I know it looks like I've been sitting here, but I've actually done so much. And it's been actually 5 hours since I filmed my last video. So, joke's on you. Welcome back to Book It. We are moving right along with our dystopian week 1, which is the Maze Runner series. We already did the Maze Runner, and now we're moving on into the Scorched trials. So this is the second book in the Maze Runner series. And yes, I'm still on my couch. I know, it's been literally like 5 hours, and it looks like I haven't moved. All right, so the first one was the Maze Runner. It was a 5 out of 5, amazing book. I loved it. Really sets off the game strong. Scorch Trials. Okay. So don't hate this, but I hated this book the first time I read it and when I had to reread it for this. It sounds really terrible because Maze Runners is one of like my favorite series that I can remember like growing up with, but like this book has always made me so mad. Just because like, it's just like, I don't know, I just hate it. Okay, so we're starting off, spoilers. It's right after Maze Runner is taking place. They get to like a good night's sleep or whatever. They're considered safe. And then they hear from this man in white. They call him the Rat Man, Man in White, whatever. He basically is just there. And he kind of tells them that this is like a trial based, and he's finally there to like answer questions about Wicked and like the maze and that stuff. The problem is there's a lot of confusing parts to this book. Even as an adult, like rereading it, I'm like, ooh, like I'm confused. So I don't understand how 12-year-old me was like, but I also remember 12-year-old me hated this book. So, so the boys all wake up and realize that they're trapped with all the dead bodies of the rescuers. And they also meet Eris. So Eris is the boy that like replaced Teresa. So Teresa was taken away. And Eris is here, who he was in group B, where it was all girls and one boy, and they were all boys in one girl group. So it's like group A and B were different. So he's basically the Teresa of that group. And he also has special powers with Sylvia. I want to say her name's Sylvia. So it's like how Thomas and Teresa had their mind powers, Eris and Sylvia or whatever had theirs. That makes sense, yes. So in the Maze Runner, when Gally is trying to shoot Thomas and Chuck jumps in front and Chuck dies, same thing happened with group B. When they came out, one of the girls went to shoot Sylvia, but nobody jumped in front of Sylvia to save her, so Sylvia did die. So Thomas was technically supposed to die already, but he's still living, which is like wild. So they find out about the other group, and they find out that they all have like tattoos that were given to them that none of them could see before, but now they all have tattoos. And they can no longer like find Teresa anywhere. Like they like are walking around this like complex trying to find her. Basically everyone that was there before is dead. So there's like no one to talk to except this Rat Man who pops up every now and then. And, okay, so then they are taught that like not everything they see is like real. Like there's some things that are fake, and they cannot always trust their eyes, but they have to learn how to trust their minds, which is like such a stupid concept. And then they escape, or they escape. They basically are given like a choice, like you can walk out into the Scorch is what it's called. And if you walk out, it's like a barren wasteland, and you basically have to walk 100 miles in like a week or something. And once you get, if you take too long, you're just left out there and you fail and you die. But there's also things out there that can kill you, so like good luck. They also know literally nothing. But yeah, so they have to literally go through, there's like these horrible storms. It's super, super hot. Like it's heat. It's from solar flares of the sun, and that's why it like scorched the land, and it's called Scorch Trials. And then also we learn about cranks. So cranks are people that are infected with the flare virus. So the flare virus was not really mentioned in the first book, but it's a really big part of this and the rest of the series. So basically, the flare virus is like a mind. It's like it gets into your head and it like eats away at your like mind and stuff, and that makes it really hard. And then there's like different levels, because like some people are still human and like have it, but like it hasn't really like progressed at all. And then the more it progresses, they become like psychotic, like absolutely like crazy. Like they kill other people, they kill like themselves. They just like, it's just like they become like this literal like mutant variant thing. And it's horrible. So towards like the first day or so, there's a scream that they hear, and like Thomas investigates to figure out if it's Teresa. And like they're out there and they hear her, and he goes to her and she's like, no, get away from me, get away from me, get away from me, and like runs away. But then like she also like leads them straight into a trap that she like correlated with. Like I said, this is a Teresa hate fan page, literally Teresa hate. So yeah, I hate her. Also, I think she's a snake and I never trusted her. It's very, very confusing. So then they end up like getting to the very end. They get the 100 miles in between them, and they basically realize that like Teresa like comes back and she's like, oh, everything is great, besties. Like, no, but they literally get to the end by befriending Brenda and Jorge, I think. And like I like them too. They're very helpful. They're like, yeah, we'll try to help you. But they like literally like they lose a lot of people along the way. They start like, they realize like not everybody's immune, which is a really big issue. And this is like not every person is immune to the flare. So most of the people that were in the trials are, and they're fine, but like there's always a couple that are not. So they're trying to figure out who those people are. And like they're literally just trying to survive out here. And basically what I would consider like a desert. Like I think of it as like a Sahara desert with just like people that want to like kill you. But yeah, so then they end up getting to the very end and they all get separated. Yep, literally what happens. Like, that's the end. Like I said, this is a shorter video just because I really hate this book. Like, I love my boy, James Dashner, but like, I don't know. Oh, they also learned they can remove the swipe. So before they went into the maze, they got their brains wiped away. It was called the swipe. And they're told they can get that removed so they can remember everything that's going on. And some people are like, yeah, you should do it. And then others are like, no, like, we don't really, like, you just tell us what's going on. And so that all kind of depends. But if they do the swipe thing, it takes away Thomas and Teresa's powers to, like, talk to each other. But Thomas and Eris can also talk to each other as well in their heads just because of whatever. And then towards the end of the book, like, Brenda is able to do it. Like, it's super odd, but, like, yeah, this book literally just confuses this, like, it just confuses everything, and I don't like it, and that's just my opinion. But yeah, no, can't stand Teresa. I don't like this book. I gave it a 2 out of 5 to be nice, but I really dislike this one. And then I also put in my notes, P.S. I cannot wait to read the next one because that one is so much better, and this one is so damn rough to get through. I will say the Death Cure and Maze Runner probably took me about a day and a half to read. This took me like 4 days because it's not that it's long. It's just that I'm like sitting here and I'm like this. Like it just like, and then I end up rereading the same thing over and over again because I just can't. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they're trying to like, if he was trying to make like Teresa somebody that like, oh, like you get along with, like you see both sides of the point. Like, no, I honestly don't. Like, she just, what? I just don't like her. Oh yeah. And Teresa always keeps saying like, Wicked is good, Wicked is good, Wicked is good. And that makes, I also don't trust her. I don't like Teresa. And that's okay. I also didn't like her in the movie either. Love the actress, hated her in the movie. But yeah, no, that's about it for this one. There's really not much to say on it. I'm not a big fan of it, so I'm not gonna like go into it like I did the other ones. But yeah, in all honesty, if you have to read this, I'm sorry. This one kind of sucks. Love James Dashner. hate this. But yeah, that's it. We're going to be moving right along. I'm not filming another video tonight because I'm so exhausted and I need to go eat dinner and go to bed. But thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you like and subscribe. It helps me out so much more than you actually could possibly think it does. And then also follow my Goodreads. It's linked in the description below because that's where I post all of these and my like full true thoughts and everything. And then also that's where you'll get like heads up of like what I'm about to post. Because I usually post these and then like I'll post the video and stuff like a week or two later depending on my schedule. Like I'm posting all these today, but the first Maze Runner video comes out in exactly 9 days. So it's like, it's a little like before hint and you can basically tell like what I'm thinking and where I'm going and what's coming up next. But yeah, that's the second book done in our Maze Runner series. I'm super excited to continue on with this. But yeah, thank you so much for watching and until next time, bye!